a service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC News and Jib Jab. Greetings, I'm Bud Lowell. Full AccuWeather forecast right across the top of all CNC local news pages. And we're dispensing with the pictures today because we've got serious time pressures. Not a technical problem, just have to be at a conference. The verdict for Michael Lewis is guilty on all counts. The 42-year-old Batavia man was found guilty on 38 counts of rape and sexual abuse after 5.5 hours of jury deliberations yesterday. He faces several life prison terms. He'll be sentenced back in the Ontario County Court on June 26th. Lewis was accused of regularly raping two teenage sisters in their Ontario County home. The girls testified that the abuse began when they were 12 and 14 and that he threatened to kill them if they talked. Lewis took the stand in his own defense Monday, denying that he ever had sexual contact with the girls. Prosecutor Jim Ritz credited both sisters for their bravery in coming forward to testify. We're still learning about the 30 to 40 people from Rochester who were running in the Boston Marathon Monday when those bombs went off at the finish line. Many have begun posting their experiences on Facebook and other social media. University of Rochester employee Nora Demick got back from Boston yesterday with her family. She was running in her 12th marathon, well off her usual pace because she was just getting over a stomach bug. So she was more than a mile from the finish line when the bombs went off. Her husband and her two children were between the spots where the explosions hit, and they escaped injury. The U of R community is inviting anyone interested to join them for a candlelight vigil Wednesday evening at 8. It's in front of the Rush Rees Library and in solidarity for the victims of the Boston Marathon bombings. The U.S. Attorney for Western New York says a Rochester man has pleaded guilty to dealing firearms without a license as part of a gun trafficking operation. William Hochul says 48-year-old Paul Davis illegally transported firearms across state lines, sold guns to a convicted felon, and possessed guns himself. Davis pleaded guilty before U.S. District Court Judge Frank Geraci. He'll be sentenced in September. He accepted a plea agreement by which he gave up 10 firearms and assorted ammunition. The charges carry a maximum penalty of 25 years and a $750,000 fine. Assistant U.S. Attorney Robert Marangiola said Davis went to Atlanta between August of 2012 and this past February. He bought guns there and illegally resold them on the black market in Rochester. The prosecution says Davis sold those guns to people he either knew or had reasonable cause to suspect were drug traffickers. Davis was caught after he sold a gun to a confidential informant. Eastman Kodak Company told employees Tuesday they'll be getting a bonus this year. It's been a while since the annual Kodak salary bonus was paid out. Hourly employees will get 5.5% of their eligible 2012 compensation next week. Exempt and executive employees will be paid as spelled out in their pay plans. The word went out in an email to employees from Kodak's Chief Administrative Officer Patrick Scheller. And Kodak announced a deal with Unipixel to produce a new generation of touchscreen sensors at the Eastman Business Park. Unipixel and Kodak don't say how much this is going to be worth, but both companies are putting $24 million into the new production and testing facility at the park, and it should mean 65 or 70 new jobs. These touchscreen controls are a growing industry. Making them involves printing exactly the right amount of materials onto the right place on sheets of film, and that's something Kodak is all over. Monroe County's Industrial Development Authority, COMIDA, has approved a tax abatement deal to support the move by Ledestri Foods of Fairport to consolidate its manufacturing into the Eastman Business Park. This is a $5.3 million reduction in sales and mortgage tax. It supports a $60 million plan to move facilities from Dundee, New York and from New Jersey into two of the former Kodak buildings in Greece. And eventually, this should bring more than 650 jobs into this area. Greece police want your help in tracking down two young people who threw softballs at a truck on Latona Road and caused a serious eye injury to an 11-year-old boy. Police say this happened Saturday on Latona Road at the Route 390 overpass. The two people threw softballs at a Rochester family's truck just as it went under the overpass. One smashed the side window and it hit 11-year-old Danny Santos. He suffered a broken bone in his face. He may have to undergo eye surgery. Santos's mother managed to stop without losing control of the truck. The driver of a following car who saw what happened called 911. The ball throwers ran away down the bike path. Police say this was a serious assault. They're asking anyone with information on the suspects to call 911. And Rochester police have released an identity for the body found Friday in the Genesee River Gorge below the High Falls. Investigators say the dead man was 31-year-old Tom Litton Carr. He was a homeless person who liked to stay by the river. Police don't suspect foul play. There were no signs of trauma. Carr's body was spotted by an RG&E worker near the Brewer Street substation in the gorge. To the left of the player window are links to these and other stories. At the bottom of the page are links you can use to post news and information directly to us. Next news is as it happens. Updates are as necessary. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.